Hello everyone, my name is El Parnaso and today I'm gonna show you a little brief of Yu-Gi-Oh history because we're gonna use Thunder Dragon Colossus in a comparison with Phantom of Yubel to try to understand and predict how the Yubel Fienzmith is going to develop in the current meta. Now, in order to do that, we're gonna use different deck lists from the Thunder Dragon era, the TOS format, and the current format, the Fire format, to try to see how these decks develop and see if the comparison that I'm trying to achieve works, and if it works, what are the consequences. The first example that we're going to use is the first YCS after Soul Fusion release with the new Thunder Dragon cards. Now, obviously, there's a lot to talk about all of these deck lists because a lot of people put a lot of thought into it, but right now, for the purpose of this video, we're just gonna focus on how many Thunder Dragon cards are invested in the deck. As you can see, in the first time that this deck has a chance to face a YCS, a lot of people decide to maximize the Thunder Dragon engine. Three of almost every new card of the deck. They try to maximize in the cards that power the Thunder Dragon engine, like Sarcophagus, Allure, and as you can see in the extra deck, there's an investment of 3 Colossus and 2 Titans, which already is the third part of the extra deck. So right now, as we can see, the first time that the deck has a chance to face a competitive meta, the invest in the new Thunder Dragon cards were pretty heavy. However, even in these first attempts of the deck, you can see that there's people that try to use the Chaos Dragon engine, even if it's just 3 cards at this first attempt, as you can see in the top 8 that Andres Torres made in this YCS with the Thunder Dragon. So I thought that this was the perfect way to start, so you can see that the next develop that this deck is going to take for the next months already saw some kind of shadows ever since the beginning with these Chaos Baby Dragons. The next event to cover will be YCS Milan, 1 or 2 months after the prior one. Now, before continuing with the development of the Thunder Dragon deck, I wanted to show how the conventional version of the deck was also really strong because it got second place. And as you can see, they invest even more in the Thunder Dragon cards, playing a second fusion, playing the tier Titan, and etc. Now, try to take a good look at this so you can compare it with the version of the deck that got third place. The third place will be taken by Andres Torres, playing a version of the deck that started to rely less and less on the actual Thunder Dragon cards. This is the first time you start to see in a high level 2 Hawk, 2 Roar, 2 Matrix. They're starting to play even other bosses are besides the Thunder cards like Saryuha, Curious. They're starting to rely more in the disruption of Fairy Tail Snow and creating a lot more free monsters with the Danger engine. Now, this version of the deck will be taken even further by a Canadian that I'm about to show you. Now we are in 2019 and Jesse Cotton just got second place in one of the first YCSs of the year in Sydney, playing one of the craziest versions the Thunder Dragon deck ever had, because this deck list literally justifies the ban list that were coming. Shortly after this, Gold Sarcophagus went to 1, Brilliant Fusion went to 1, Fairy Tail got banned, I'm pretty sure the Grinding Golem also got banned. So, if you look at this deck, you're just gonna start to foresight the future when the Thunder Dragon cards started to be more of a pile deck more than the pure Thunder Dragon deck that was before, only trying to rely on leaving 3 Colossus or 2 Colossus and 1 Titan. To the point that Jesse Cotton even tried to play Synchros in the deck to try to scale further the plays to actual win duels instead of only making 3 Colossus and pass. Shortly months after that, Jesse Cotton will win YCS Knoxville, playing again Thunder Dragon, but on a version that started to rely more and more on the Dragon aspect more than the Thunder one. As you can see, there's less Thunder cards here again. There's no Titan anymore. There's even 2 Colossus only. And if you were playing at this time, you know that the second Colossus were often used with the Levianeer to make the Harbinger. So they were actually just using one in the duel because there's no Thunder Dragon Fusion to recycle things anymore. And they're playing 3 of each baby dragon, and they added the Crusadia engine just because they can add you and guarantee you a dragon monster on the field to start your war dragon plays, which at this point are the best and consistest part of the deck. The nail in the coffin for the Thunder Danger deck was, at least to me, the European Championship. First with the playoff when Joshua Smith qualified to the World Championship of 2019, playing the Crusadia Danger Guard Dragon deck, relying absolutely no more in any Thunder Dragon card. He even explained that these cards were just bricks. Every time he drew it, they wanted to be cards that he actually can use to play and to make a combo, instead of just trying to pray that these cards were sent to the graveyard by some way and then having a way to banish them and etc. If that wasn't enough, the Crusader War Dragon will show its strength again the day after, or well, the weekend after, in the actual European Championship when got top 8 in the event. Now, don't get me wrong, there were still Thunder Danger Dragon decks topping in these events, but they were playing a lot less Thunder Dragon cards, like 1 of each and 3 of the OG, and in the extra just Thunder Dragon Colossus, because the cards were power creep so much at this point that they weren't even half as good to draw or to summon than back when Soul Fusion released it. And the deck list, I think, show it. So, in summary, a deck as the Thunder Dragon deck that started focusing a lot in 3 of the engine got power creep so much that their own version of the deck stopped relying on them anymore in order to get better and stronger. The Thunder Dragon Danger deck become a Crusadia Danger War Dragon deck, and so forth with the Dragon Link versions and blah blah blah. That's the idea that I wanted to show you, to try to see if this pattern is happening with the Yubel deck and what conclusions we can have if that's true, which I'm about to show you. We're going to start with a bonus track. We're going to start with the win of the YCS Brazil that Pac and his team had a year ago. Pac playing the Unchained deck. Now, this is a little exercise for you in order to show you how Yu-Gi-Oh has literally always been the same with this power creep, but around the same decks that's been building again and again and again and again. Just look at that and count how many Unchained cards are in that deck, okay? You ready? Good. Now look at this top 16 Yubel Central American Championship deck list. Look and tell me how many cards, Unchained cards, you see. It's less than 10 in a version that just 1 year ago has like 20. The Fiend Leg evolves and the new protagonists are not the Unchained card anymore, are the Yubel cards. Now, having said that, is there any evidence that the Yubel cards are getting power creeped? Is there any evidence that we're starting to rely less and less in Phantom of Yubel, the same way we're starting to rely less and less on Thunder Dragon Colossus back in 2019? I think that the best way to answer this question right now is by seeing the deck list of the current Yu-Gi-Oh! World Champion, Ruben Penarada, playing the Yubel, because of the fact that the Yubel players right now, after the Fiend Smith card, power creep, everything in Yu-Gi-Oh!, are playing 2 Phantom of Yubel instead of 3, because it's not necessary anymore. The risk and the investment is not worth it anymore. The same way the investment on 3 Colossus or 2 Titans or the Thunder Dragon cards in the main deck were not worth it anymore for the Thunder Dragon Danger deck, which became eventually just a Dragon Danger deck. The same way this Fiend development, which started with the Unchained and then with the Yubel, now can become all Fiendsmith just in some months, depending on the ban list and etc. Which allows me to show the idea that Yu-Gi-Oh has always been the same. These things happen again and again and again. Like the difference between the Thunder Colossus and the Phantom and Yubel is like 5 years. However, the patterns are the same. And if you dig into Yu-Gi-Oh more, you can see that those patterns keep repeating themselves. This is just an example. Now, having said all of that, what do we do with all this information? We just cry about it, We just left of our budgets get empty because of this power creeping that happens all the time. Like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do or what to think, but however, what I was trying to show you with this is how this understanding of the patterns in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh is going to allow you to understand better your deck and why are you making the plays that you're making, which is going to be the theme of the next video. I'm going to delimitate more the conclusions that we can see from this pattern and this comparison that we made. But please, if you like it, let me know, because there's a lot of examples like this that show you how Yu-Gi-Oh has always been the same in a lot of different ways. So just let me know and I'll try to do the work. Thank you.